Welcome back everybody to the Mineski Pro Gaming League Season number 6, a 2-game series between Invasion Esports and Team Malaysia. We have reached game number 2 where Invasion, they do have that 1 game advantage already. They do need to actually claim the secondary game as well to have any kind of chance to actually advance here into the playoffs, but even if they win this, I think they're gonna have to go through tiebreakers after this as well. But in any case, Team Malaysia, they have started the draft with a Naga Siren. Oh man, should be an interesting one. We're of course HeflaTV. My name is Coucher, and once again I am joined by Mike Lores. How you doing?
Oh, after that last game, I feel a little bit dirty. That was so devastating from Invasion, just deathballing one lane after another into Team Malaysia's lineup. And Malaysia, they had a good start, but you can't win off of a good start. Or sometimes you can, but that wasn't one of those cases. They're going to go for a completely different game plan, though. Naga Siren means that Malaysia are not going to be as aggressive early on. When you pick up a Naga Siren this early, it generally means that you're playing her as a core. And that means they're going to try to extend this one very late. And because of that, I actually like what Invasion are picking up right now. The Bat Rider, in response, is going to put some pressure onto the Naga Siren and get initiation where otherwise there would be none. So I like this adaptation from Invasion, picking up a Bat Rider very early.
Well, Butler definitely is a good hero to try to deal with a Naga, or overall just for the aggression that actually both Team Invasion and Malaysia are teams that are rather known for the early aggression, or at least most of the time they pick up heroes and lineups that just like to roam or just completely dominate lanes and snowball from there. Actually, Team Malaysia, they first picked, or at least in the first phase, picked the Naga Siren against Aces as well. In the end, they actually ran it as in a support role instead. But even then, you just kind of have to draft in a way that can deal with a Naga if it's a core role. You have to kind of end the game fast enough, but a 3-end pick for the Invasion? Wow, that's a hero I did not see coming together with the Batrider, to be honest.
Yeah, the heroes don't really work well together, especially if you go for the Aghanim Scepter Treant. Gotta watch out for those eyes, Bat Rider. But even if they don't work too well together, they are still very powerful heroes in their own right. Treant Protector is going to mean that Team Malaysia aren't going to be able to split push very effectively. So if Malaysia does go for another Nature's Prophet, which so far doesn't seem very likely, but it's still possible, then Treant is going to pretty much put a stop to that. Treant Protector can be aggressive early on versus a Naga Siren, since they're both melee and Treant Protector has like 1,000,000 base damage at level 1. He's going to be able to force out the Siren, assuming there's very minimal support from Malaysia. Of course, that's a big assumption, but Invasion, they're going to have two very powerful heroes that don't really work together, but they can be tied together if Invasion do go for a little bit more of a massive team fight kind of comp. Maybe another Tidehunters in store.
Well, it's definitely possible to go for the Tidehunter at the moment. Unfortunately, Team Malaysia banning out Witch Doctor, which I guess is one of the more popular supports to run with a 3 and just overgrowth into Death Ward, for example. But not to come out in this game. And, well, Malaysia having a Mirana now. I guess the Ensnare is a decent enough setup for the arrows in the early game even. If it should be a roaming duo between them. Even if not, even if Naga Siren is in the mid lane, for example, still you can skill that one point into Ensnare and set up the arrows that way. Because Naga Siren, if it's played in a core role, plus you can get the kills as well on top of it, you can just get that early Radiance and really make the game your own. We'll see if they can actually accomplish that though. Invasion though, banning out the Bristleback. But I actually want to come back for a second to the first bans of Team Malaysia once again. Abaddon and Spirit Breaker, man. What the hell is up with that?
They just hate these heroes. They're so strong. Maybe they just lost a pub game in a humiliating fashion to these heroes together, and they're like, never again. Never again will we lose to these two heroes in conjunction with one another. I have no idea. I actually just have no clue, because Naga Siren and Mirana are both pretty good against those two heroes, so it's just Malaysia saying we don't want to ban out the first two heroes, and they're not going to.
Oh, actually Pagna was also banned by Team Malaysia at the moment. So far, I guess they don't have too many heroes that want to spam out spells all that much and should be afraid of the Nether Wards. Dude, I guess Skyrive Mage is a possibility to come out now from Malaysia. Ensnare into Mystic Flare, Arrow into Mystic Flare, any of those combinations. Definitely wouldn't want to get Nether Warded if you're using the Mystic Flare. Or what? I actually can't recall what team played the Tinker. I think it was First Departure, maybe. Kind of failed with the Tinker because it isn't half as strong nowadays, just because you can't farm up Ancients anymore, for example. Can't get that crazy amount of farm that way. But
Yeah, I remember that game. That was First Departure.
well, I don't know the Pagna ban. Also, I'm not too sure if Invasion would have gone for it. But I guess Malaysia with the Pagna ban, it kind of leads me to believe that Naga Siren will be a core one. They just don't want to get ran over before the Naga gets online.
Yeah, that's pretty much the thinking behind this Pugna ban. Even though Invasion aren't necessarily going for it with their first two picks into a very deep pushing kind of team comp, the Pugna does open that door. And when you have a Naga Siren, you want to keep as much map control as you possibly can so that she can teleport to more places before she has her travels, of course, and then just split push, try to get her Radiance out. If you're pressured, then Naga Siren is suddenly not a great hero. Invasion, they're going to grab a line once again, and Malaysia, they're going to respond with a Bane. So it's going to be a Bane Mirana, most likely as a dual support combo. I would want to say for the most part babysitting the Naga Siren. I think it'll benefit Invasion once again if they try to go aggressive towards Naga, but I don't know if they can with the Treant line. It's kind of a janky opening for them.
It definitely is. I mean, looks like Invasion, they really love the Lion, playing it the second game in a row already. It is, of course, pretty damn nice against Naga. Hex to clear off one illusion, a mana drain to clear off another. And actually, I didn't think about it beforehand, but Aghanim Scepter Pagna actually completely wrecks Naga Siren illusions as well. Just go for your ultimate on every single one of the illusions and suddenly there are none anymore. But whoa, Invasion just whipping up the Necrophos here. That's a hero I didn't really expect. But if you get the Aghanims and if you can bring down a Naga even in a late game just situation, suddenly make it so that he doesn't have buyback, might just be suddenly a huge opening for yourself to get counter racks. But also, Finger of Death into Reaper Scythe should be an easy kill onto anybody really, but is this a worthwhile pick here?
It's definitely a little bit strange. Off of the Batrider initiation, I think Necrophos should have a decent time. If they pick up one more tanky frontliner, have a little bit of a body for Necrophos to hide behind, they should be in a good position. Necrophos is actually astonishingly good versus Naga Siren. She doesn't have the most HP in the world, so it's not going to be Heartstopper Aura that's really doing it. It's going to be the fact that you could stun her and then try to bring her below half, you know, in the late stages, to actually kill her off. Because Naga Siren, usually if she drops low, she's going to be spamming that ultimate button. And you don't really want to be spamming your ultimate button when you're at half HP. That doesn't really make much sense, except in this game. So Invasion are pretty much forcing the hand of Naga Siren's ultimate and making her use it in less than optimal times with this Necrophos pick. That being said, Jakiro now being picked up from Team Malaysia, together with Bane and Mirana, it looks like it is going to be a mid-Naga Siren, and this tri-lane from Malaysia is so extremely deadly. If you're Necrophos, you can't be feeling too safe about this. Treant Protector armor is also not going to last very long versus the Liquid Fire.
Oh, it's definitely going to be pretty damn hard going up against a tri-lane like that. I guess whoever's going to support it, most likely Lion because he does have the ranged attack, is going to have to be extremely fast in toggling off the Nightmare of Necrophos just to make sure he won't get arrowed. And, well, I just really like if Malaysia are going to go for an aggressive tri-lane with this. Just take the fight to Invasion, and if you're going aggressive tri-lane, that makes it so that Invasion supports really don't have free reign to just roam around into the mid lane to make Naga's life a living hell. So it would be like a win-win situation, winning your own lane or breaking even there, plus thanks to enemy source not being able to rotate, you win the mid lane as well, kind of. Of course, Invasion, they don't have their mid laner yet unless they want to run the Necrophos there.
And really, they could pretty much run anything, I think. They should get a good read on what Team Malaysia have and realize that the Naga Siren is most likely going to go towards the mid lane. And Necrophos in mid lane isn't the strongest hero, but at the same time, neither is Naga Siren. So the mid lane is going to be up for contention, and looks like Invasion are going to be running the Nature's Prophet as their last core. So they are going to be going for a little bit more Death Ball off of Batrider initiation, and it should serve them pretty well. The mid lane is going to be a pretty weak mid lane for both sides, but no matter who goes there, it should be decent farm for either end. And now Team Malaysia, what are they going to go for? I see a Mirana core, I see a Naga Siren core. They might need some counter initiation for this. Do you think Tidehunter is still available, and do you think it's worthwhile?
I mean, I think Tidehunter is almost always a pretty damn strong hero to have. It's decent enough against Nature Prophet if it should be solo. Even up against Batrider, should be able to survive thanks to the Kraken Shell, of course. Centaur wouldn't be too bad of a hero either. Just get away with the Stampede if need be. As well as some initiation, but they go for a Sand King actually. Is this a Mushi Sand King here? No, Mushi picks up the Mirana. Core Jakiro, Core Sand King, I don't really know what to expect from this pick.
Well, it looks like Malaysia are going to, in fact, go really just deep into the late game. With the Sand King pickup, they're going to look to secure the early stage and then just stall out for a little while Naga Siren gets to that stage where she is going to be everywhere with the illusions, pushing everything, and really keeping Invasion off of balance. if this early game goes poorly for whatever reason for Team Malaysia, then they're pretty much screwed because they have four heroes who are generally played as supports. Hell, their entire team at one point in Dota has been like one of the they all have been notable supports. So they have quite a strong early game, and it has to go well for them. If it doesn't, then Malaysia are going to be in a lot of trouble versus this pushing initiation power from Invasion. Sand King is decent enough counter initiation versus the Bat Rider if you're quick on the draw with the Burrow Strike. But I don't know how much the Sand King could actually get going. I guess it's decently set up with the Bane, but it really is going to depend on how these lanes actually set.
Definitely. So to introduce the lineups as well. Okay, we'll be playing the Lion once again with FCFC on the Necrophos this time around, ADTR supporting on the Treant Protector, leaving Ketchikim actually to be a mid lane Bat Rider by the looks of it, with Ghost being the last one, the Nature Prophet, to go to the off lane.
Alright, and on Team Malaysia, Mushi is going to be handling the Mirana currently on bottom. X is going to be supporting as the Bane, and Net is also going to be supporting as the Sand King. This of course means that Naga Siren and Jakiro are going to be played by KY, XY, as well as Ohio respectively. So out of all these heroes potentially to be played as core, it is going to be Jakiro up on top lane. And this is not going to be the best times for Jakiro, especially if he is up against this tri-lane of Invasion. He will be able to fight back. Jakiro is pretty tanky, especially with the Ring of Protection opening, but I don't know if Jakiro is going to be getting that much. It's okay if he doesn't because it's a Jakiro, but if he gets shut down, then suddenly there's a lot less early game power for Team Malaysia.
Oh wow, their laning definitely caught me a little bit by surprise. Of course, if you have a Sand King, you definitely don't want to go aggressive tri-lane, or at least if you have a Sand King support, you just want to keep on stacking your own jungle, get that level 3, level 2 Sandstorm, and just farm up the fast Pinkter, get the levels to catch up that way. Or not even catch up, just get the hit really. But I'm not too sure about this Jakiro as well. Like you said, he's probably not going to have too good of a time there. And I really think Jakiro, although he doesn't need all that many levels, really he needs that level 6 to have the level 4 Liquid Fire, and he's probably going to be fine. But I just don't know. Although Invasion, I guess Treant Protector isn't all that aggressive as a support either, so Malaysia might just be fine.
Yeah, Jakiro isn't one of those heroes that has a huge spike of power once he hits a certain level. It's pretty linear power gain from level 1 all the way until level 8, 9 area, where Dual Breath should be maxed out, Liquid Fire should be maxed out as well. That's when Jakiro should be the most powerful hero on the map for however long, but it kind of depends on him getting experience. And already we see Invasion at least pretending to be super aggressive. Jakiro's going to turn around and pretty much demolish this Lion. Jakiro is going to win these small skirmishes, so Invasion should back off and just be satisfied with just poking. But still, the Jakiro should be zoned out enough. If he doesn't get zoned out, then I could see this Jakiro just completely running this game.
It's definitely true at the moment. Jakiro overall, actually pretty hard to harass if you're a Lion. I mean, you have 45 base damage, only 1 armor as well. So Jakiro definitely should have an upper hand. Of course, Treant at the moment is pulling through as well. Did a double stack beforehand, so should be just fine for himself. But at the moment, I think still for Team Malaysia, most eggs will be in that Naga Siren basket for them.
Yeah, Naga Siren doesn't have the easiest lane matchup right now. Versus Ketchikimba, the Naga Siren is going to constantly get harassed by the Tar. She is a hero that could very easily use the Magic Stick charges. Just more Tar means more Riptides, which means more lane control. But Bat Rider does have options of killing off this Naga Siren, whereas Naga Siren doesn't really have any way of killing off the Bat Rider, unless rotation comes in from the rest of the Malaysian supports. So Naga Siren most likely isn't going to have the best time up here. Ohio, he's going to run into a couple of support heroes. The rush for the 2-minute rune is going to most likely end in favor of Invasion. Yes, they will get the rune, bounty only though, whereas bottom lane secured by net regen, not going to matter at all. So race for the runes, ultimately not going to do much, as Ketchik actually taking quite a bit of damage over in the mid lane. Naga Siren landing quite a few Riptides because of the mana that she has, and now rotating the Jakiro in. Level 1 Ice Path, level 1 Liquid Fire. Not the best roaming hero in the game, especially when the Lion spots everything out. So Ohio's gank attempt is going to be pretty hollow, as he's going to land one set of Liquid Fire onto the Bat Rider and force the Bat Rider to the air, which is, I guess, okay, but Ketchik is going to be just fine, or should be just fine.
Actually, I think it's a little bit of a mistake, Patrick. I think he tried to get that first sticky napalm stack onto Ohio as well, but missed. Only got the creeps there. If they had like 2 sticky napalms with the Hex and Earthspike to follow up, maybe could have gone for the first blood there. But I guess they didn't give anything away themselves really either. Ketchik full on mana. We'll wait, or we'll have to wait another minute, unless he's gonna bottle crow at the moment for the rune. And actually, he's gonna have boots anyway, so I guess he can put the bottle on the courier and just send it back home, refresh it up that way. So still 0 kills so far. Safe laners rather equal. 15 and 11 on Mushi, 15 and 5 on FCFC. And of course, both of them have absolute free farm, like literally nobody's on their off lanes at the moment.
Yeah, both of the offlaners have been forced out. This is going to benefit Invasion because Ghost has the option of just jungling. He has gone for 3 circlets, so I expect to see those null talismans come up very soon. And then Invasion are going to probably look to be a little bit aggressive. But he's only level 2, so he can't really do that much. And Bushi's farming away very happily, and now that Jakiro's back up to his lane as well, just wants to start absorbing a little bit of experience. Taking a quick look at the Sand King, he's only level 1 right now, and Sand King doesn't have any stacks to work with. Nature's Prophet has actually been blocking off these camps consistently with his treants. There's one hard stack to deal with, but that's pretty much it. This Sand King is going to struggle unless he rotates out, and together with the Bane they can, but it's going to be very difficult to do so. So they're going to really struggle, these supports from Malaysia, and the supports from Invasion, they're under no such pressure.
To be honest, I have to say Ghost, just really excellent micro of the treants there. Or I guess you don't have to micro them all that much, you just send them to the camp and leave them there. But just to think of that already, just to make sure that Sand King doesn't have that great of a time. Really excellently done and thick move kind of by the Nature Prophet, if you're looking at it from the vantage point of the Sand King. But looks like they want to go for some rotation of their own net. He has boots as well, so should be able to get close enough, especially out of the smoke. They're going mid lane, and to be honest, Ketchik, he's rather low, not using the bottle yet. He's just holding on to the charges, I don't know, for whatever reason. Has to be a little bit careful though.
This is only a level 1 Burrow Strike, so their range is absolutely terrible. Bane, to set up with the Nightmare, is probably going to be their best bet, but Ketchik is going to get healed back up to full as Tranquils as well. They're going to lay an Observer Ward, spot down the Lion, but now the Sticky Napalm is going to flow, and Ketchik can spot everyone out. The Nightmare is there, and Jakiro's rotating in as well, but the Nature's Prophet is also in the area. At the end of the day, Smoke Gank unsuccessful for Malaysia, and they still have yet to get anything off the ground. Fortunately for them, KYXY is still farming very well, as is Mushi. But they really are looking for these opportunities that just aren't there. They're going to go for Ketchik, who's clearing off a triple stack of hard camps, but they really can't do anything about this. The damage with Napalm is too high. They're going to land the Liquid Fire and the Ice Path. They're going to catch OK, and that might be a kill right there. The Burrow Strike onto the Lion, the damage should be enough. Flame Break and push him back into a spike. Beautifully done, but it's going to be the death of the Lion regardless. Now the Sandstorm is out, but Net's still taking damage. The Ice Path going to clip Ketchik him right on the tail, but it's not going to be able to kill him off with living armor. Dual Breath onto everyone, but X still in the area, only level 2, and Ohio's pretty low on mana. In fact, he's completely out. Rotation in from KYXY, maybe offering a Riptide, but OK's back into this lane, has a Hex and Impale. They're going to try to turn around and go for Ghost and Snare. Going to keep him down for now. Definitely not enough, as the Impale is going to miss KYXY. Ice Path going to land on 2, but they have to get out right now. Malaysia do not have the numbers to fight this fight, and it looks like they will successfully escape, although Sprout from long range and KYXY going to get burned out by the Bat Rider, but for how long? Flame Break going to push them right back into an Impale. That's going to be Naga Siren down. And is there anyone else who's going to fall from Malaysia? Looks like no. Ultimately, the kill score stands 2-1 in favor of Invasion.
So I think Team Malaysia got the first blood onto the Lion, right? But since they gave away 2 in return, plus of course the more important, the Naga Siren death, definitely Invasion coming out ahead, although you could see that the Treant Protector was rather useless there. Living Armor kept Ketchik alive and made it so that he can actually return to the team fight, I guess, but him being only level 3, 7 minutes into the game, Treant, Leech level 1 really isn't all that great of a heal, to be honest. So I'm a little bit surprised that they got as much as they did. I guess Mushi not joining the fight. He did help out a little bit with that Moonlight Shadows, but only a little bit, and that was about it. So Invasion taking a small advantage early on. They definitely need it as well. Plus, of course, in the meantime, FCFC and the Necrophos just keeps on free farming on the safe lane.
So Mushi's builds is his skill build is pretty standard. His item build, he's gone for Arcane Boots, and if you're going to be going for this item on Mirana, usually it's seen on support Miranas, and that really is just categorized by the fact that they're going to be rotating very consistently and pretty much never going to be farming in lane. Going for these Arcane Boots kind of indicates that Mushi wants to do the same thing, which makes the fact that he wasn't in that last fight all the more surprising. He could have contributed so much, like a single volley of Starstorm would have killed off a couple of Invasion heroes, and he would have gotten a lot more than that as well. So Mirana going for an item that indicates she wants to fight, yet she's not fighting. So Malaysia, if they had more heroes in that dire jungle skirmish, it could have gone so well for them, but instead it just goes okay. Getting farm onto Mushi is all well and good, but he has to be going for items that make the farm worthwhile. Something like a Maelstrom, not Arcane Boots.
I have to agree, the Arcane Boots definitely are a little bit weird if you're just staying on the safe lane and just continuously farming up. Maybe they're planning on the other heroes to come to him instead or something, and when they go for a push, or they don't even have the spells to spam out. They don't have something like a Nether Blast from a Pugna to just keep on spamming to go for the towers that you need the Arcane Boots all that bad, so I'm not really too sure about this item decision. Maybe we're gonna see the bigger picture later on in the game or something, but so far, definitely strikes me as weird.
I mean, it's not the worst item for the team. All these heroes do need a lot of mana. Even the other core, Naga Siren, needs it quite a bit, so as far as a team item, it could definitely be a lot worse, but when you're running a core Mirana like this, it's usually just about her. Especially if she's not going to be playing with the team. They are going to rotate downwards, and level 3 Liquid Fire might be enough to pressure this tower, but at the same exact time, Ghost is up top with the tree, and it's only level 2. KWax-wise in the area, maybe going to mess with them with the Riptide just a little bit, but this tower on top lane should fall before the tower on bottom lane, as strong as Liquid Fire is. Fortification on both sides, and it looks like it is just going to be a tower trade. This is going to benefit probably the Sand King most of all, since no one is going to be messing with his jungle. He's level 4, and he's actually going to teleport up to the top lane. Do they really want to defend this? Yes, double TPs are out with the Song of the Siren. Net doesn't have an epicenter to channel, but he has a 2-man Burrow Strike to line up, and there we go. Arrow going to connect onto OK. They're going to burst down this line pretty quickly with stars. There he goes. FC also getting dropped very low. Ensnare's going to hold him out, and he's going to go down as well. Now Ghost on the run. He only has regular brown boots, and he has a whole bunch of Malaysian heroes right on his tail. Another Burrow Strike through, and that's going to be the Death of Nature's Prophet. That's a 3-for-0 in favor of Team Malaysia, and they're going to get the tower and save their own as well. Nothing but wins. In fact, their own is already in deny range, so win on the bottom lane, a huge win on top lane. Are they even going to get 2 towers off of this? That'll be huge.
Well, I guess Liquid Fire is a little bit too fast for invasion there, and this setup as well from KYXY didn't hesitate at all, popping the song like that, setting things up, having the Sand King get into position, nice 2-man Burrow Strike, and well, when your Burrow Strike is only level 2, it's actually not the easiest thing to do, to just land it on 2 heroes, but they were close enough, and like you said, wins all around, getting 2 towers, getting the kills, but Ketchik in the meantime, farming up the enemy jungle slowly. Net is gonna spot it out, and man, Batrider, he's actually stuck there without the Firefly.
It's a little bit awkward, but Sand King isn't able to punish, and OK is in the area to back him up as well. Net is going to play it a little bit cautiously as he is being stalked by an invisible Lion. However, here comes Bane. Lion's going to want to go for this. This is a tasty target for the Lion to go for, but Net, oh, he doesn't know what's happening right now. He's going to try to clear this stack off, and here comes the Batrider and the Impale. Net is in so much trouble right now. Can't get a Burrow Strike, and he's going to go down. The Satyr almost getting that neutral deny, but now OK, Nightmared up, setting up for an arrow. Pretty much the first arrow combination of the game. That's going to be the death of the Lion. Trading a support for support, generally pretty even, but slowing down the Sand King is going to benefit Invasion just a little bit. But they are also 2 towers down, so Malaysia, they've gotten quite a bit across the map, at least a lot more than I would have expected from their type of team comp.
They definitely have, and to be honest, this exchange here, it really benefited the Batrider most of all, because he got to steal the stack. I think it was a 1-1-1, so he has his Blink Dagger now, and suddenly we actually might see the first lasso of this game. In the last times, he actually hasn't had enough mana even for it. Earth Spike onto Ohio from OK, just throwing it out just because he can, I guess. Living Armor not doing anything at all against Liquid Fire, really. Shakiro, such a good pickup against 300. Oh, is he gonna go for the kill? No, just an Ice Bath, but there's the Blink Lasso onto Ohio. Do they even have enough damage? I think they do with the Earth Spike, yeah. Wrath of Nature bounces through as well, but a tower for the death. I think it's still good for the Team Malaysia to get that trade.
Yeah, it's good because Jakiro spent all his gold on completing his Yule Scepter before he died, so he didn't actually lose that much. FC did complete the mech up on top lane, and the tower actually wasn't denied up on top, so Malaysia might still lose this bag of gold to Team Invasion if they're not on point, but now they should know about this. KYXY, get on that tower. There you go. Also, to go along with that Yule Scepter, possible next level item from Mushi, it's going to be a Shadow Amulet, and that only builds into 1 item, and Rana generally isn't the hero to buy that type of item.
Wow, that is definitely next level at the moment. Whether it will actually be next level good or just completely flop and fail, that we can see. Oh, Extinct gonna get hexed up. There's the Blink with the Firefly on top. Earthspike to fall as well. The Yule Scepter is gonna buy enough time. No, it's not. Finger of Death from OK to secure the kill. They want to go for more, but there's the Burrow Stack. He's under the tower as well. Epicenter coming through. He cannot get to the high ground in time. Although Net will fall in return as well. So a 2-for-1. 2 supports for a core. I guess it's still worth it for Invasion. I mean, Batrider, he has his blink, so it doesn't really need all that much more. But Mushi, he's stalking Ghost here.
He wants OK, though. That'll be the easier kill. Arrow from point blank, with the stars to fall as well. Ghost will survive just by the skin of his teeth. Leap forward is available for Mushi. He's going to leap, and Ghost should die, although the armor is going to keep him alive. Yes, taking only 20 damage a pop from Mushi's arrows, and now Mushi, oh, thankfully, isn't going to be trapped by those treants, but the Shadow Blade surprise factor has now been run up. I mean, Invasion know about this item now, so they're going to be packing Dust and Sentries, and quite frankly, they should have been doing that beforehand as well, up against Sandstorm and Moonlight Shadow, so Shadow Blade, so far, not a good item for this Mirana. Maybe if she went for Phase Boots, it'll be a little bit better, but Shadow Blade Arcane Boots? Who does this Mirana think she is?
I mean, you have Moonlight Shadows. Why do you need a Shadow Blade on top of that? I really fail to see the importance of it, especially like you mentioned as well, since the more sources of invis the enemy team gets, the more probable you are to actually go for the Dust, the sentries all around across the map. And speaking of that, look at Kechik. He's trying to go for something. He has 2 Dusts in his inventory as well. He's definitely prepared for it, but man, Team Malaysia, they have the blink net, blink per sec onto FC. Will it be enough though? They can't get the lasso. There's the ice path as well. They will get net at the release with the Reaper scythe. Kechik somehow still alive with the mech coming through. I think he should have just run away, but of course Macropire was there. Extinct will lose his life. Just going, they're spiked up. So once again, 2 supports go down, but this time around Invasion, they don't lose anything in return.
Yeah, Malaysia investing quite a bit into that as they threw every single hero they had into that Necrophos. But this guy's pretty tanky. He's got the mech, he's got the Ogre Club, and once he gets a kill on the enemy hero, those stacks of Sadists are going to make him pretty much invulnerable to what Malaysia have to offer. So Invasion get nice cleanup, nice counter initiation by the Batrider. Was unknown to Malaysia that the Batrider was in the area, and then suddenly Blink Lasso puts a very hard stop to that gank. And Malaysia are going to lose a tower and 2 heroes off of that, and their Naga Siren, she's at 3,300 gold. She's farming pretty decently, but definitely needs to carry quite a heavy weight in this game, as Invasion, it looks like they're not going to stop. This is pretty much what happened the last game. Malaysia off to a pretty good start, and then all of a sudden, Invasion take a good team fight, and they snowball out of control. Malaysia, they have the Naga Siren, though, so they are holding out to something, that Naga Siren, and she might even have to come down here and help, but she's almost at her relic. If she gets that, it could swing the game. Mushi can land an arrow onto OK. However, the lasso available from the side as the Batrider looking to close in. Will catch X. Macropire is out, and the Mushi Mirana gets demolished by Finger of Death. OK, looking to get a little bit more, but he's sitting in the Macropire, so he's taking quite a bit of damage. Already 2 down from Malaysia. Top lane is falling slowly but surely to the Naga Siren, but this bottom lane tower falling as well is fortifiable. The Ice Path is going to slow them down once again. There's the fortification. Naga Siren now has enough money for her relic, and she will purchase that one, but she's going to very quickly lose map control. This is why Malaysia banned out the Pugna, so that this type of thing doesn't happen, but clearly it wasn't good enough.
Oh wow, 2 minutes before the fight when you were talking about that it's pretty reminiscent of game number 1, I was actually thinking the exact same thing at the same time. Like literally, Team Malaysia get off to a good start and suddenly the graphs are in Invasion's favor instead. But of course, this time around, Team Malaysia, they have a Naga Siren, so as long as you don't lose the game by like 30 minutes in, the Naga Siren has just the power to take over the entire game, especially since he's going to have the pretty decently timed Radiance. Unless he dies like 3 times in a row within the next 2 minutes or something before completing the Radiance recipe, which I really don't see happening. He has the level 2 song as well, but look at this, Mushi with Net and Extinct, they're on the hunt with the, actually a Dust, the Shadow Blade already used as well. Net, oh, the Epicenter coming through, they're gonna go for OK, but is that 1 support gonna be enough? Even the arrow follow-up, he's still alive somehow, Living Armor keeps him alive even longer. Finally Dust, IFCFC, gonna get Fiend Script, but it's still not enough. The mana drain though, the Song of the Siren as well, even Ghost came in from behind, but man, that fight, just only getting the Lion like that.
They're going to back up and also go for the Nature's Prophet. Unfortunately, the song got just out of range and it let the Necrophos live. And at the end of the day, it's still going to be 2 kills for Team Malaysia. So after all said and done, they still have to be very happy with how that went. Epicenter on a single support generally isn't what you want to be doing. But hey, if you get kills off of that and if you don't lose anything, then you can't really be too upset. And they're going to take that as a signal to just rotate to the other lanes and try to do the exact same thing. Fortunately for them, the Batrider wasn't able to counter-initiate like last time, and the Batrider got, not the Batrider, the Necrophos got gripped up by X, so he couldn't actually help out the Lion that much. Still, we saw the survivability that the Invasion team has. With the mech as well as living armor, these supports on Invasion are suddenly very tanky. They're going to go for Ghost, though. Stumbled into the mid lane. Arrow's going to fly, hit onto a creep, though. That's going to mean Ghost gets to survive. And now Spike on 2. Going to kill off Net. Mushi into the Shadow Blade is going to book it and will be just fine. But Ghost, unfortunately for Malaysia, isn't the kill. And now they might run into someone else. Ketchik is going to try to kill off the Batrider. No, not the Batrider, the Jakiro, sorry. And he will be unsuccessful in doing so. However, Mushi's still in the area. Ketchik is not in the air, though, so Mushi should be just fine, I think. Yeah, he's going to live. But still Invasion getting the free pick off on the Sand King, and now they're going to smoke up and look for a little bit more. Finger of Death is available, and whoever gets caught by this lasso is most likely going to die, if anyone gets caught at all.
Well, they don't even really need the lasso. Lion himself can just blink, Earth Spike and Finger, to be honest. Should be able to kill off most targets. There's the Firefly Ketchik. He gets some vision. Net, he TPs in as well. Oh, there's the lasso onto the Sand King. Immediately used up though. Finger of Death as well. It's still not enough. The arrow will follow up. They even use the Reaper Siphon, that low target. But the kill is a kill, Ketchik though. He's still stunned up. He is actually gonna go down. So a core for support, I think, goes as well. There's the 3-end armor, the 3-end overgrowth coming out. KY actually still alive somehow. But he does finally fall. A 3-for-2. Mushi keeps on going, but there's the Earth Spike. Do they have enough follow-up? Death Pulse as well. Oh man, Ice Path. Mushi, don't stay there. Leap out as fast as you can. He actually stays alive. Heartstop Aurora. Not gonna follow him for long enough, but a 3-for-2 plus Invasion. Think they got the tier 1 before this as well.
Yeah, that's just a devastating push from Invasion. Gotta hand it to Ohio. His Ice Paths are on point. He threw out 2 Ice Paths and in total hit like 7 heroes with it, so he stalled out Invasion by quite a bit. If those Ice Paths didn't land, I'm sure Mirana would have gone down. Naga Siren would have gone down a lot faster, but at the end of the day, Ice Paths don't actually win you games, unfortunately, for the Jakiro. And Team Malaysia, they're very quickly losing more and more map control. Their Naga Siren, crucially, does have the Radiance up, but this isn't a hero that really gets online once she has her Radiance. She needs a little bit more, and they need to hold out for a little bit longer. Invasion, they're playing this pretty well against Naga Siren. You have to keep applying pressure, never let up, or else you might end up losing the game. But it looks like Team Malaysia, they're going to make a plan to gank up someone in the jungle. They might run into Ghost. He has a Blade Mail, but I don't think it's going to help him that much.
Yeah, probably not. If he gets caught though, looks like Team Malaysia, they're going for a more aggressive route into the enemy jungle. They're gonna find Ketchik and the ADTR though. ADTR has the overgrowth ready if he's fast enough on his fingers. They're gonna throw Ketchik in the air, but OK comes in with the Blink Hex. Earth Spike onto Extinct as well. Can he get his Fiend Script off? It's still 3 seconds on cooldown. Mech is there. Can they get any kills at all? Extinct goes for the Brain Sap, and actually never mind. Reaper Scythe just to ensure the kill. Of course, 30 extra seconds on the respawn as well. And look, Ketchik, oh, he's gonna find Mushi just before he picks up the double damage. Onto the high ground he goes. No leap anymore. It's already on cooldown. And 2 fast kills for Team Malaysia. Or not Team Malaysia, for Invasion.
Invasion are just pretty much all on top of Malaysia. They know exactly what's going on, grouped up, and I don't think, oh, well, hold on, Ohio's going to get jumped by a Hex, Earth Spike, Radiance, and Illusion's going to destroy the Lion. Now setting up for another Ice Path. Will land, and, well, actually, OK, he's going to get force staffed out first. Blink forward from Net, though, is going to kill off the Lion in the end, so Malaysia gets something, but going for these gank attempts, it is worthwhile for them to do, especially when you have a Shadow Blade Mirana. You should be looking for ganks pretty much 24/7, but they're constantly running into Invasion, who are grouped up as you know, 4 or 5 heroes, and then at that point you can't really do anything. There's just so much healing with the mech, with the Death Pulse, with the Living Armor. Invasion, all their heroes are so tanky because of that sustain, and there's not enough burst damage on the Radiant side to deal with that. So right now, Malaysia, they just have to, I think, just concede their losses and just try to turtle out for their Naga Siren, because at this point, none of their other heroes are going to be incredibly reliable.
Well, at the very least, it's not like Invasion have some crazy late game carries themselves. So I think Invasion, they're definitely more on the clock than Malaysia is, because Naga Siren can definitely completely take over the late game, I think. If they get a nice Reaper Scythe with an Aghanim buff onto Necrophos, maybe they can do something, or onto the Naga Siren. But other than that, Invasion, I mean, Tree and Protector definitely is going to fall off rather heavily. Nature's Prophet really hasn't even taken off to begin with. He's going to have his Maelstrom soon enough. But really, Necrophos is the only one farming really good for Invasion as well.
That could be a problem later on if none of the heroes are keeping up with the Naga Siren, and the Mirana's actually still farming pretty well despite her really weird build. So it's going to be net worth for the Mirana, and sometimes that's all you need. Just raw items, just fill up your item slots with anything you can, and it'll take you pretty far most of the time. Invasion, they're still sitting pretty comfortably in this game, although the Golden Experience lead, not as much in their favor as the momentum would really show. Invasion, feels like they're a lot further ahead than they really are, but I guess the farming rate of Naga Siren is really starting to ramp up from here. It does get like that once you pick up the Radiance, and KYXY hasn't picked off a couple of times, but not enough to actually slow her farm down by a substantial amount. So Malaysia, they're still very much so in this game, despite the fact that we're saying it's like, oh, so terrible for Team Malaysia. Invasion are doing so well. They are still in contention, but, you know, this is not good. KYXY going to get lassoed, fingered, and brought down very quickly.
To be honest, that's probably the best pick-off Invasion could have hoped for there, with the smoke that they went for. Just the 100% highest priority target, and not only that, they're actually going to continue with the push as well, which they should. They definitely have to get Rax, I think, soon enough. If this game gets past like 30 minutes and the Naga Siren doesn't die continuously every like 2 minutes or so, it just might already be over, because Invasion, what do they actually have to deal with a Naga Siren who gets like, let's say, 2 extra items on top of what he already has?
Their only chance is to nail her with the Scythe and then burst her down to half. Then have the Scythe do all the work. And that's something that you do get from Necrophos, is that your fights against really stacked single heroes is going to be relatively stress-free, but they don't have great ways of killing off the illusions aside from the Lion, so this Naga Siren is the most potent threat. And Invasion, I'm sure they know about this. They are playing in such a way that would indicate that they do know about this, but really getting a single pick off on the Naga Siren isn't good enough. She has Travel, she has Radiance, she's going to be getting gold, that's a fact. And Invasion, if they're not breaching the mid-tier 2s, if they're not breaching high ground, then it's just more and more time for Naga Siren to get farm. Hell, even at this point, if Malaysia were a Rax down, I would still say they're not completely out of this game. So Invasion still have a long way to go before they actually have this game firmly under tabs.
Oh, looks like they want to go for something mushy. He missed an arrow already, but he's still going Shadow Bladed in. Oh man, where's the Bat Rider? There's the dust pop. Does it actually land on anybody? No, it does not. They're gonna get FCFC, but there's the Blink Earthquake onto 2 as well. Are they gonna use the Reaper Scythe? Yes, they are. Mushy, he's gonna go down. Ohio will fall together with him and Extinct. Well, even he got caught in the Overgrowth. FCFC even used the BKB, not entirely necessary, but better safe than sorry. Triple kill for Ghost. And this will most certainly be tier 2 as well.
And that was the second time that Team Malaysia has been clumping up like that. First of all, it was the Dire Dungle fight where they got hit with the 2-man Overgrowth right next to each other, and then all the value came through. And then this time, getting hit with the 2-man Spike should be pretty hard for the Lion to do. Even though he does have a Blink Dagger, it's not an easy skill to line up, but they got hit anyway. And Mirana Bane stacking up like that is not what you want to do ever if you're a Team Malaysia. So they are going to lose a tower, and oh no, they lose a courier as well. Fortunately for them, it wasn't holding anything. They're going to initiate onto bottom lane. Epicenter onto Ghost will kill him off. And it looks like Net and KYXY might get out of this scot-free, although Lion with the Blink Dagger wants in. Blink into Spike onto Net. He's going to get his mana drained into the Sandstorm just to blow up that mana drain. Now OK is going to be wailed upon by the Naga Siren Illusions. The armor is not going to be doing jack against the Radiance burn, and OK should burn to the Radiance. There it goes. ADTR in the corner, dueling up against Net, but Naga Siren is going to be hitting him from behind. That's the death of the tree as well. Net going to get that kill with the Sandstorm. 8,000 damage nuke for sure, and now it's actually a whole bunch of kills going the way of the Malaysians. And it was just with 2 heroes as well, so pretty well played by this Naga Siren. She is, at this point, a pretty strong hero, especially with the Yasha now being picked up.
To be honest, Invasion, they could have easily killed the Naga and the Sand King, not with the supports that they have. They didn't have a Finger of Death. Lion, his both spells were already on cooldown. Hex actually 24 seconds on level 2 and 3, and well, he has no damage output. Yes, he's hitting for 120, but pretty bad attack speed, plus you actually have to stay on target for it as well. So Invasion, I think they made a pretty huge mistake there, giving away a lot of space to the Naga Siren. Not only did they get the gold from it, also Invasion, if even one hero is dead from them, that means they can't really pressure the buildings as 5, the objectives. And that's all good for Team Malaysia, and Naga Siren just keeps getting bigger. At the very least, Aghanim Scepter is going to be finished on FCFC now, and the Necrophos. Almost level 3 ultimate as well, so that's going to be a pretty huge upgrade.
And then KYXY has got to be very, very careful with how he uses the Song of the Siren in order to escape or even engage those fights. If FZ lands a Reaper Scythe on the Naga Siren, even if she's at full HP, a Finger of Death, a couple of nukes from Invasion could instantly kill her off. They're going to find X and they're going to blow him up very quickly. But it's only a Bane. It could be worse. It's a kill and lasso that's not being used for the Naga Siren, but they're also going to catch Ohio. Force Staff out, and here comes Nature's Prophet. Sprout is available, and Sleep for the Naga Siren rather Boots have traveled in. Now they're going to possibly set up. Ice Path is going to catch two of them. Arrow to fly him to catch Akimbo as well. The Bat Rider's still surviving, but the Stars are going to kill him off. And now Nushi going to get Figurative Death, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 after that Bane does go down. Mushi, you know, pretty much got demolished by that Blade Mail. Now the Epicenter in onto OK. Ice Path's going to catch ADCR as well. Ensnared to the floor, and he's going to drop as well. That's 4-for-1, or 4-for-2 rather, in favor of Team Malaysia. Here comes FZ, wants to be a man and wants to be a hero, but I don't know if this is the time for that, FZ. He has a BKB, so he feels pretty comfortable. At BKB TP out, FZ kind of just giving Malaysia a free one right there.
Oh man, Invasion, what the hell did they just do? That was epic free 2-2 movements, to be honest. I think they should have backed off once they got the kill onto Mirana in return. I have no idea why they'd even try to chase. It's not like they have the 4 staffs to actually get close enough. Plus, once the Bat Rider died, he dropped the gem on the ground. Invasion, they could have just picked up the gem, backed the hell out, and be happy with the exchange. Just 1-for-1, I think it would have been then. But not to be suddenly. Team Malaysia, they have 2 gems as well. Plus Naga getting more and more farm. He's actually #1 in net worth now. Finally has surpassed the Necrophos, even if by a little. Oh wow, Invasion. I have no idea why they just... I guess they feel pressured because they know they cannot take this late game. But this is definitely not the right answer.
Yeah, so Invasion, they are still playing this pretty aggressively, as well they should, but Naga Siren at this point has gotten the snowball rolling. She has now her Yasha and Radiance, so her illusions are hitting pretty hard, plus they get the Radiance burn as well, so KYXY is going to be a pretty devastating hero. Still is very, very far from being that Naga Siren cancer that everyone kind of hates watching, but she needs a health item soon enough, and once that does happen, then Invasion are really going to struggle versus this Naga. The other heroes from Malaysia, I mean, the Jakiro is playing his role almost to a T. The Sand King has been on point as well. Unfortunately, it's just the Mirana who I feel like has been mostly lacking in this game. Shadowblade, Maelstrom, and she hasn't really been going for any ganks at all, so the Mirana is pretty much a dead hero. Maybe the Arrow is going to be relevant sometimes. In the last fight, it was useful in bringing down the Bat Rider, but for the most part, I don't see the impact of this Mirana.
Oh, look at Net. He might be in huge amounts of trouble, or is he trying to set up a solo kill here potentially? Heartstopper Aura, of course, slowly ticking him down. It's not going to be enough by any means by itself. But do they really want to pincer FC? They will have Jakiro coming in as well, but Jakiro is going to run into, okay, Earth Spike, Finger of Death, Hex to follow up as well. Some right clicks, and it was, I guess, a cheeky try from Team Malaysia, trying to go for it, but Invasion, they were on top of it.
Yeah, you can't really go very comfortably anywhere versus a Blinking Lion. If he has a Finger of Death, and now that it's level 2, he most likely will have a Finger of Death, then pretty much no heroes from Team Malaysia are safe against that. So they have to watch themselves, and fortunately, I guess, for Malaysia, they only lose 1. If Net went in on there trying to initiate onto a fight that they thought they have a numbers advantage, then it could have been even worse, but Net is going to be just fine, as he now has his Blink Dagger plus a Veil of Discord. I don't know how long he's had this item, but it's going to be pretty huge for Malaysia, as they have a ton of magical damage. Even the Naga Siren Radiance Burn being amplified is going to be some pretty serious hurts for Invasion. But when you add onto that Jakiro, as well as the Fiend's Grip and stuff like that, it gets really dangerous for Invasion if they get hit with that Veil.
It definitely does, and look at actually Jakiro's item build as well. Just Blink, 4 Staff, as well as Yules, getting every single mobility item in the game pretty much at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if it just carries smokes in his inventory as well on top of it. Need more movement speed, more mobility. So this Jakiro isn't going for a Hex or something like that, but with the Blink and 4 Staff, he should be able to just close the distance so ridiculously fast.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a Hex, because he's building like a Puck, kind of, and that's what Pucks do. He's going to initiate onto the Bat Rider. Ice Path's going to land on ATTR as well. Fiend's Grip onto catch Imba. It's not going to be interrupted in order to save the Bat Rider. Now Overgrowth onto 2. They're once again clumped up. They're going to kill off ATTR as Ghost does come in, gets Brain Sap, but the Mjolnir is doing so much damage to Team Malaysia. Mushi in the invisibility from Moonlight Shadow is going to book it. Ghost just demolished that fight. It came in with a static charge already on himself. They lost 2, so it was a 2-for-2 trade that did benefit Malaysia, but still Invasion taking a pretty good set of counter kills. Though still in the bottom lane, Naga Siren is the real threat here. So killing off the Jakiro as well as the Bane, as good as it is for Invasion, it's not exactly the best. And now Net is going to set up once again for KYXY. They're going to try to lure someone in. FC has a BKB, so they have to do this perfectly if they want to kill this Necrophos off. Hell, I don't even know if they can.
It's definitely going to be hard, although if they can catch the full epicenter with the Burrow Strike before he gets the BKB and just the Riptide to follow up, it might be possible. Although they've actually given up on the idea. Necrophos almost 2000 HP as well, at least 2000 when he has the traits and strength. So maybe a little bit too much that they could chew. So at the moment, Team Malaysia backing off. BKB actually finished on Mushi now. With that, he can definitely, or should at least, be able to survive in the team fights. Because other than magic damage, Invasion aren't that scary yet.
Yeah, so Mushi BKB is certainly going to be very helpful. I think this might even be a game where Naga Siren wants to get a BKB just so that she's a little bit safer. It's not the best versus Bat Rider, but staying safe versus Overgrowth and making sure that the Reaper Scythe isn't going to be insta-giving you. Although it does go through spell immunity. Did they change this? I'm pretty sure it was damage unaffected, but the stun goes through. It might have been changed in 0.82.
Wow, I also thought that only the stun goes through. I still think it's the same, although it says it pierces spell immunity.
I think it's lying to us.
I also think so. It's probably only the stun that goes through. Otherwise it would be kind of broken, to be honest. You just can't do anything against it. You're gonna go down with no buyback, no nothing, thanks to the Reaper side. But well, I guess we have a chance to find out in this game, maybe.
Yeah, so FC, you're gonna have to Scythe Mirana for Science, and that'll be fantastic if you could do that. Just because we need to know in the future. It's quite a huge swing being able to put the damage through the BKB or getting it all blocked. So hopefully we do get to find that out. And well, they're going to go for the top lane push, Team Malaysia. This is going to be all the heroes with the exception of Naga Siren and the Sand King who are yet to join this fight up here. Ice Path is going to connect onto FC. Now BKB up for Mushi. He's going to leap out of there. This is BKB just used to purely escape. They're going to try to bait someone back in, but Ketchik doesn't have his Blink Dagger available, nor does he have Firefly. So this is not going to be a fight for Team Malaysia. They're forced into the 10-second BKB. A pretty bad loss for Malaysia, in all honesty.
Oh, wow. Well, Team Malaysia at the moment. Actually, the Naga Siren isn't farming all that fast. At least he's not too far ahead of both Ghost as well as FCFC and the Necrophos as well. And it still stands that if you can kill off the Naga Siren with a Aghanim's Necro ulti. Oh, actually, they're gonna catch the Chikiro already. Net is around as well. They're gonna get LSO with the BKB. Finger of Death already used. Earth Spike to follow. Hex is there. They actually need a little bit more damage, and Ghost will provide. So actually, they end a dominating streak of Net there as well. A lot of gold going the way of Invasion.
That is because the Bat Riders picked up a gem, and that was a gem that was lost by the Team Malaysia. I don't know when that gem was actually lost. Naga Siren was holding on. Oh no, she actually still has it, so never mind. Gem's still up on Team Malaysia, but because there's so much invisibility from Team Malaysia, Invasion are going to be once again more inclined to buy more hard counters, such as the gem, as opposed to just sentries and dust. So Sand King has got to be playing a little bit cautiously. Sandstorm is not really going to be doing much for him in this game. Yet still, picking off a Sand King is acceptable. Maybe not as much so when the Roshan goes down, but I think Team Malaysia can probably contest this. Actually, never mind. It's going to be dropping too quickly.
Yeah, okay, actually took care of the two illusions as well that we're about to come to scout it out or just make it a little bit harder for them to get it. But Hex, Mana Drain, both illusions gone, and Mana Drain, of course, only a 5-second cooldown as well on the max level. But will this Aegis make a huge difference? Because I think Invasion, they kind of still need to go and break high ground now if they just want to kind of win the game.
Alright, sorry for the barking. Can't do much to stop my dog, but looks like tower on top lane will go down, and they're going to, Team Malaysia, try to constrict Invasion for all their space and just dominate their jungle and secure all the lanes of farm. They are facing up against an Aegis though, so it will be very difficult to actually get anything done and take a really convincing team fight. But any map control you can get means more farm for the Naga Siren down the line, and she's already holding on to an ultimate orb actually. Is this possibly going to be a Lincoln Sphere from the Naga? I think that'll be a decent item pickup. It's
definitely good to have a Lincoln up against Bat Rider, well, hell, even up against Lion, just to make sure you won't get immediately Blink Hexed. Or the Hex to come out from Ghost along the way on the Nature Prophet as well. It doesn't give him all that much just raw damage in team fights or anything, but it's not like Team Malaysia are team fighting, or at least not the Naga Siren, so Lincoln's finished. Another 2,000 action on top of that as well. Definitely going for the safest route possible at the moment. And if he can avoid getting picked off, especially from the Reaper side, I think Team Malaysia, the other heroes are just a distraction for Invasion.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all about keeping the Naga Siren alive. If she gets hit with a scythe, then that could be pretty bad for Team Malaysia. But they're playing in such a way, if you take a look at the illusions, they're spreading out. They're cutting all the creep waves, with the exception of bottom lane, which is a little bit too far away. And someone's going to have to deal with that. But For right now, the Naga Siren is farming the jungle and 2 lanes at the exact same time. It's a lot of income for her, and she's going to be using it to buy some pretty heavy items. I wouldn't be surprised to see a heart, but it looks like Invasion, they're going to force the issue. They are tired of waiting, and they're going to go for a straight push down bottom lane. 1 illusion onto the front lines. No Riptide, or there's Riptide a little bit late, but they're going to send more and more. KYXY himself onto the front lines, going to net down Ghost. No real response off of this, though. Net, got to watch for the epicenter, but they're going to blink forward for a spike and death. Finger Death onto the hero. Still alive for now. Scythe will kill him off, but that's a Scythe being used on a support. Mushi going to get pulled back in the BKB. He can't use this to get rid of the overgrowth, but he will leap out. Now Net channeling the epicenter, going to blink right in onto 4 with the Veil as well. He's going to do so much damage, but not kill anyone off, actually. He's going to lose the Aegis. Nature's Prophet down for a little while. He's going to come right back up into an ensnare. Naga Siren's going to have to use the Solemn just to stall at this point. Needs to wait for Net as well as Mushi to restore a little bit more onto HP, because right now it's still only a 2-for-1 with the Aegis as well. Invasion, though they are pretty weakened due to the epicenter, it didn't hit them as hard because the Burst Strike only landed on 2, and it looks like, fortunately for Team Malaysia, it will be enough to force Invasion to back off. It could have gone a lot worse for them, but at the same time it could have gone a lot better.
Definitely could have. I mean, actually I thought when the epicenter came out, I was like, holy crap, Invasion, they're gonna get wrecked, but like you said, Burst Strike connected onto 2, although it was a maxed out epicenter, plus the Veil of Discord was used on, I think, all of the heroes that got epicenter as well there. Just, I guess, by 38 minutes in, heroes are getting rather tanky. 3 of them actually have BKBs as well on the side of Invasion, so that definitely mitigates some of it as well, I think, there. But Mushi has his own Mjolnir now, so they will have the counter lightning procs to work with. Boots of Travels picked up on FC's Necrophos as well. Even with the Batrider, are they gearing up for something huge? I mean, I guess they have to keep on with the pressure. Just go once again to the bottom lane before the epicenter comes up, although that really won't be possible. 20 seconds. No way they're going to push into the base by that time. But they lost the Aegis. They broke kind of even for the fight for Invasion. But, man, 40 minutes in, still no racks up against Naga Siren. A huge worry for Invasion.
Yeah, as appealing as Reaper Scythe is onto a hero that you can guarantee the kill on, such as the Jakiro in the last fight, you kind of have to be holding that for a hero with higher priority. The Mirana or the Naga Siren are going to be the 2 ideal ones because you have to kill them off. Naga Siren especially, she just sang and suddenly the fight stopped. And Invasion, if they had the option of continuing that fight, they definitely would have taken that. Killing off the limping Mirana as well as the Sand King would have been huge, but ultimately they get denied that. They are going to find the Sand King in the end down on bottom lane. It's going to be another kill for the Necrophos. He used the Scythe for that one, so there's no buyback on the Sand King, and he did have enough gold for it. So this is the time where the Aghanim Scepter upgrade on Necrophos becomes really scary. It adds such a large amount to the respawn timer, plus denying the buyback, and it also doesn't have the longest cooldown in the world, only 70 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely actually a pretty strong ability. 70 seconds is a pretty low cooldown, to be honest, for a spell as strong. Or at least if you get the kill with it. So, looks like Invasion, they might have a small opening, because without the epicenter, that's probably one of the best times to actually push in. Naga Siren isn't all that scary as far as her own damage output is concerned. Plus, she's going for a Heart of the Rest now as well, has the Reaver in the inventory. So really, with the Manta, Linken's, and the Heart of the Rest, all it does is really make his illusions tankier.
They're going to jump onto FC. Fiend's Grip is immediately going to be cancelled by catching Imba, and FC's going to survive. Scythe is available, and Mushi, still in the BKB, is going to have to book it because the rest of his team is dead. He's going to run straight into a Lion, though. Has a leap available. He'll jump to the south, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Finger Death from long range, zapping that Mirana down. That's a 3-for-0. They lose the Nature's Prophet over on bottom, who stayed for a little bit too long, but Team Malaysia trying to go once again for the tankiest hero in the Necrophos. It's not something that you could comfortably do, and Mirana ultimately not doing enough damage. Fiend's Grip, if it lasted for a little bit longer, could have definitely made it happen, but Kechik on point with that lasso to interrupt that.
I think the only positive for Team Malaysia on the top fight at the moment was that nobody got Reaper Scythe. So they all still have the buyback. Nobody has the increased respawn duration of 30 seconds either. So that's the really best positive for them. KYXY in the meantime though, will have his Heart of Trash finished if he wants to. I think he would even have enough for a buyback, or if not yet, then soon enough. And well, Naga Siren with a buyback. Will it really come down to just Necrophos getting the Reaper Scythe and making it so that Naga actually can't buy back? And to be honest, if they kill the Naga, especially early on in the fight, that just might be game straight out. But in the mid lane, the tier 2 still stands. Maybe Invasion should make it a priority to get rid of all the outer towers before actually going for that decisive fight to get Rax.
Yeah, taking the tier 2s is certainly going to be very useful, even for both sides, but I think I would agree with you. If the Scythe lands, the Naga Siren kills her off, then unless Malaysia get a 5-man everything, then they're most likely just going to lose racks at the very least straight out. So it's going to be very difficult for the Naga Siren to keep herself safe. If she runs to the front lines and she's going to want to do some damage, it's going to be incredibly risky. She's going to send illusion after illusion in. Chainline is going to clear them off, and now here's the Song of the Siren. It's not really going to get a huge angle, though. Net can prep the epicenter right now, but I don't know if he's going to. Yes, he will. Ice Path is going to be denied as it catches no one, and the epicenter gets lassoed as well. Net's going to go down very quickly. The grip onto the Keskin, but also not going to do that much. Now KYXY into the front lines. Is there a scythe available? Yes. No, there's not. Actually, Naga Siren is going to have access to buyback. She does go down, and she's going to have to use it because Invasion, they haven't lost a damn thing. The Radiant side, they're going to have to put the Naga Siren back on the front line, but they're very quickly losing their Raxes right now. No Song to reinitiate this one, and now they're just going to start spamming out some skills. The illusions are going to start flowing outwards towards Invasion, but they're all at full HP because of these death pulses and the mech from Necrophos. Ohio going to land a very nice Ice Path onto a couple. KYXY right into the front lines, but is he doing enough? She's going to try to go for OK. A lot of damage onto this line, but not to kill him off. And now X dropping pretty low. Ghost with the Maelstrom is sitting and doing so much damage. OK is going to be left behind by Mushi. Will not even be the death of the line as Mushi goes down. Line escapes with 8 HP. Now KYXY, if he dies right now, that could very well be game. FC doesn't have a scythe, and KYXY is going to survive. Now Arrow lands onto Ketchik as well as FC. They're going to follow up with an Ice Path. Mushi on the front lines, but he can't do enough damage to kill off Kesik Imba. Just doesn't have enough. And FC's keeping everyone so healthy. Okay, he's going to jump forward for another Impale onto Mushi. Ohio salving up to try to get back into this fight faster. There's the Ice Path, Macropire, as well as everything else onto FC. Can they bring down this Necrophos? Has a BKB charge to get out of this. Scythe is available as well. He will go down before he gets the Scythe out. Tried to cast. Now ADTR on the run. Mushi's going to tear him to shreds. KYXY also chasing forward for anyone else he could find. Is going to sing. That's going to buy ADTR a little bit more time, but I think this Treant Protector might be dead. He will catch Ketchik Imba trying to retreat, though. Firefly out from the Batrider, now on the run. I don't think he could escape this one. All KYXY has to do is just constantly chase after him with the Radiance Burn. Arrow's going to narrowly miss, but Ketchik gives up. He knows he's dead. And Team Malaysia, they don't lose Raxes. They take 4 heroes down, and they crucially don't lose Raxes. I don't know who the Reaper Scythe went on to, but it was definitely not the Naga Siren, and that might have just saved Team Malaysia the game.
I actually think, or I think I caught it like with the edge of my eye, that the Reaper Scythe was actually used onto Naga, but he was like at 3/4 of his HP at the same time, so he only dropped down to half from the Reaper. So kind of a mistake from Invasion. Plus, of course, Necro, he even bought back, Booster traveled in, and of course almost got KOX. So he escaped with like 150 HP. It's almost like only 2-3 seconds of Heartstopper aura, and that's it, because he's just so damn tanky. But he will Scepter with the Ice Path to follow on to Ghost. He uses the BKB, but they just don't have enough to bring down KOX. They don't get the stun onto the main hero. There's the Beast Grip onto Ghost as well. Okay, will go down. No buyback on him. Nature Prophet, he's gonna lose his own life as well. And it just looked so good for Invasion for a second, but one fight to turn everything around. Just KYXY having that buyback, not getting Reaper Scythe, and suddenly we're looking at the racks in the favor of Malaysia instead.
I can't say I didn't see this one coming. Naga Siren has 5 item slots with very strong items in them. They're going to completely clean out the bottom lane, and at the same time Net is up top. They're going to clean that one as well. Necrophos is going to be respawning in 4 seconds, so he will probably be able to repel the rest of this push, but still Malaysia got exactly what they came for. They took a set of Raxes before Invasion with the Naga Siren. Now the Naga Siren's job is just so much easier. Hell, they're even going to take a secondary melee. FC has a Reaper Scythe available, but there are so many Naga illusions. Now the Burrow Strike onto FC. Ice Path follow up as well. He's going to get 4 staff back, but he's going to get Yules up into the air. He's still alive, but I don't think he's going to survive for very long. There's the BKB and the mech and the Death Pulse. He's going to get himself back up to half HP, but the crucial fact is that Team Malaysia haven't lost anything. They're going to take bottom lane as well as top lane, and Invasion, though they could have made some sort of defense, they just didn't have enough heroes at the moment. Lion and Nature Prophet did fall down previously, and now Malaysia are looking so damn good. The only lane that stands is the lane with the tier 2 tower, and I don't think that tier 2 tower is going to last very long. Invasion, they still are in this game, but it's just so much more difficult for them now.
It definitely is. I mean, you're up against the Naga Siren, who is going to be 6 slotted soon enough, really. He has actually the Diffusal Blade coming out, so he is going to be 6 slotted now. Plus, in 2 minutes only, he's going to have the buyback, so Invasion, unless they can really end the game in 2 minutes, I'm not too sure if they can end it at all. There is still the potential, the possibility of just Reaper Scythe onto Naga, so he won't have the buyback at all. But Invasion, I think one chance is all they get at the moment. If they screw that one up, they're pretty much done for.
Yeah, and hopefully next time the Sand King is actually going to get his epicenter off of the song, and lots of things can go right for Team Malaysia. And Invasion are going to have to deal with these Naga Siren illusions, which are going to be pushing into the top lane as well. So their tier 4s, after their buildings or their random neutral buildings that don't do anything, are going to take some serious hurt. And this is just more map control for Team Malaysia. If you take a quick look at the vision that the Radiant have, it's pretty much the entire map. They even see into the Dyer's base a little bit with the creeps. So they're going to smoke up and head for Roshan. And this is something that Invasion cannot contest. If they were in the area, they could take a nice fight in this area with the Bat Rider, Necrophos, as well as the Treant. But unfortunately, I think this Roshan is going to be dropping way too quickly. The arrow to open things up and keep everyone safe, and they just don't have the right heroes in the right places. If they start moving right now, they might get there in time, but it's going to be very narrow.
Oh man, this game just all sorts of crazy. We're 48 minutes in. I guess Team Malaysia, it's almost safe to say that they probably have this game in the bag, but Invasion, there's still some fight in them. They're going to go for a Shiva's card onto Necrophos as well. Try to help out a little bit and mitigate the physical damage, as well as get some AoE of their own. But by now, just Team Malaysia, all in all, they have some pretty nice heroes. And to be honest, even Ohio, he's been doing a pretty good job on the Czech hero, setting up pretty nice ice paths plus macro fires with the Yule Scepter of his. And now, he even has a Lincoln Sphere, so they can use double Lincolns on the Naga Siren if it's really necessary for them.
Yeah, I would say by far Ohio MVP for the Team Malaysia side. He's been doing so much. They find Kesekimba. He's invisible, but he's going to get clipped with the Burrow Strike. He's going to take Sandstorm damage as well. Armor's still up on him, but he gets headed to the floor. Fiend's Grip from very far away. X is going to bring down Kesekimba. Yes, he's going to drop down, but KYXY now in the song. He's still getting willed upon by Ghost and FC. That's a Scythe onto the Naga Siren, and she is going to be down for the count. That's so much time on her time that it's actually bugging out on my screen. Batrider buys back, and now this is the time for Invasion to win this game. They don't have to worry about the Naga Siren for almost a full 2 minutes. Everyone else from Team Malaysia is going to teleport back. Net should be fine as well. He's blinking Burrow Strike. I think it's now time for Mushi to just go straight down the bottom lane or try to take something, because the Naga Siren is going to be down for another 127 seconds. This is disastrous for Team Malaysia, but only if Invasion can actually do something with it. For right now, they have to defend because they've already lost 2 Raxes.
Oh man, this pick of the Reaper Scythe, really nice try by Naga Siren. Even got to actually use the Song of the Siren, but luckily for Invasion, both FCFC as well as I think it was Ghost, yeah, and the Nature Prophet, they had their BKBs activated at the same time, so got just enough damage in. Holy crap. And this was the first time I've ever seen not seeing a timer when somebody dies. It was like 150 seconds or something, because when I clicked on the hero himself later on, it was 140 and counting down. So I guess a pretty huge accomplishment for Invasion, and they've actually almost reached the base already. And oh, the Tire Putter got taken out. Only a Ring of Aquila on it though, so not a huge loss.
So big question for Team Malaysia. Can they defend without their Naga Siren? It's going to be very difficult. They didn't lose the Aegis. Mushi is going to be cutting the creep wave as well, but they're going to initiate, or try to at least. Ketchik going to jump forward, try to get the Jakiro, won't find him. The backdoor protection is going to kick in, and Mushi might have just saved this team, although he's still in a little bit of trouble. The fact that there's backdoor protection means that they can't push, and now this Nightmare onto FC. Ice Path's being charged up, although X is going to be one lassoed in. Finger of Death on him as well. No Fiend's Grip in this fight. He doesn't have buyback either. Still, the backdoor protection is up, and the base is in full breach from Invasion. Naga Siren needs 45 more seconds. Feels like eternity. Mushi still cutting the creep wave. Someone has to deal with this Mirana. Nature's Prophet is going to try to do it, but they're actually literally doing nothing in the Radiant base right now. They're going to jump on Ohio. Reaper Scythe probably available. It is. Burrow Strike on 2, though, going to slow them down for that one. Sand King now on the run out. He gets sprouted up. Doesn't have a Burrow Strike to escape, and Ohio's going to get Scythe as well. No buyback on him. That's 4 heroes down. Still, it's the Mirana running interference. They're going to try to go for GG, but there's no creeps here. They need some sort of anything to cancel off this backdoor protection. Mushi, being the hero that Team Malaysia deserved, they're going to finally take down the mid-tier 2 tower, and now they're going to look to open up the base. But Naga Siren, she's up in 7 seconds along with the Bane. They might take one set of Raxes, although they might just consider going for GG. In fact, that's exactly what's going to happen. Mushi is now needed in his base, doesn't have a TP, Shadowblade movement speed, try to get him back into the fountain and restore himself. Now the Moonlight Shadow is up. Naga Siren has Song of the Siren, and she's probably going to have to use it to stall out for time right now. She's going to throw all of her illusions onto Ghost, drop him very, very low, but the sustain is going to be pretty nice. They're going to kill off the Lion first in the bottom lane. Now Ghost dropping very low. I don't know why he's not moving. He might be blocked, and he's going to go down. Now Grip onto FC. Going to be canceled very quickly, but still he's taking a lot of damage. Mushi going to lose his Aegis. KYXY, though, running rampant. FC needs a Scythe onto this Siren. He's going to try to travel out. It's not going to happen. Canceled by the Song, and now Mushi is right back from the Aegis. They're going to try to kill off FC. Brain Sap on him, and the Focus Fire. It's going to just not be enough to kill him off. The arrow from point blank, still not enough. He's going to survive for a little bit longer. He's still alive, in fact. He's going to run away. No one's focusing him. They They lose the Bane. FC is finally going to go down. No Scythe available. And now ADTR is the only one to live. Team Malaysia, they don't even lose a set of Raxes. That was so close, so narrow. But at the end of the day, crisis averted. Still, they're not out of the woods yet, because if that happens again, then Invasion get another chance at that.
What decision making, to be honest, from Mushi. If he had a creep skip like that, I think we might have looked at game, because I mean 50 seconds definitely would have been enough to just get tier 4s as well as the Ancient, I think. And I really feel like Ghost on Nature's Prophet, he should have gone into the mid lane immediately. Just get the tier 2 and bring the creeps in from there. If they had gone for it immediately, might have been a whole different story, but man, Team Malaysia, they hold on. Of course, so does Invasion. This game, it's way more exciting, to be honest, than I expected it to be with a Naga Siren. Oh wow, just one Reaper Siphon to Naga. If they can manage to do it again, we might be looking at almost a similar situation. But if they can't Reaper skill Naga Siren, it's gonna have buyback, and just I'm not too sure if Invasion can deal with double Naga with the Reaper Scythe being on cooldown, but well, they're definitely giving us a show at the moment.
Oh yeah, now it's time for Team Malaysia to put some pressure back onto Invasion. Bottom lane's pushing in. Mushi's making sure that top lane pushes in as well. Again, if Naga Siren gets hit with a Scythe, then she can very easily go down, and suddenly Team Malaysia are going to lose this game. That is not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, I would say the chances of Malaysia to win are still like 50-50 right now, even being 2 racks up, especially with this happening. Smoke gank from Invasion. They're going to reveal themselves. Lion is going to reveal the fact that they are smoked, so if Team Malaysia were paying attention, they should know about this. They are going to fall back and consolidate into 5, so nice little backup for them. They're going to ferry out Salves. They want to stay in this fight, but they're going to go for Keshikimba. Arrow's going to fly. Will clip at Batrider. Can they bring him down? No, the Overgrowth's going to slow him down by so much. Where's the Naga Siren? She's right in the middle of everything. Going to take the Finger of Death. Song of Siren's available with the Scythe. Where's the Scythe? She's still alive. There's the Scythe. Naga Siren has no more buyback for another 2 minutes, but Mushi's still standing strong. They do a lot of damage. Epicenter's out as well as Invasion. Going to lose 2 heroes. Buyback from Nature's Prophet. Mushi is going to die, however. He's going to force that up to the high ground. This Voodoo is still sticking to him, and X is going to give up his life to save Mushi. And that will be Invasion with the Nature's Prophet. Might be able to pick off Mushi, although he has a teleportation available. There's 100 seconds where the Naga Siren is going to be down. Can Invasion do anything about this? They have to worry about top and bottom lane, but Nature's Prophet can handle that pretty easily. And Bane doesn't have buyback either. Once again, this is going to be a challenge for Team Malaysia, as they have to withstand this push again for this time only a minute and a half. That's going to feel like 3-5 minutes for them. It's going to be very close.
To be honest, at the very least, Mirana didn't die, so he can kind of go in when the Reaper Scythe is on cooldown rather. Actually, Arrow into FC, is this what they've been waiting for Mushi? He's gonna go in with the right click. There's the Burrow Strike, actually lands onto free as well with Mushi. He's just taking so much counter damage from more or less Mjolnir procs. The Glyph comes out as well. Invasion, the Epicenter, it's on cooldown still. They should be aware of the fact. And can this really be GG? He blinks in so aggressively to the tier 4s, but doesn't catch anybody now. Ghost already going for the right clicks. Maybe a little bit too soon because his buyback isn't cooldown. Another 2-man burst that Ghost. If they get him, it's going to be a huge kill, but there's the blink. They get the link and onto Mushi. He's still alive. BKB is activated, but the physical damage is going to be too much. He does have buyback though. Thank God for him. Okay. Gonna escape the brain zap as well. But they're holding on. Only 40 seconds left for the Naga Siren to come back. And actually, I think they might do it. Another 3-man burrow strike. Net. He's just keeping their team alive. Mushi. But there's the overgrowth. Do they have enough to bring him now? Leap is already on cooldown. He's gonna get last out back as well. There's the Reaper Scythe. No buyback. Well, he didn't have it anyway. But this might be 25 seconds. It's definitely going to be enough with the physical damage, I think, to bring down the tier 4s and the Ancients. They're going to kill Ohio. Does he have buyback though? Actually, he does. So it's still not over yet. Although this game, man, 14 seconds. 14.
Hero's going to buy back 10 seconds until the Naga Siren's up. If you take a look at the Dire base, they're going to lose their last tier 4. They have to fall back now, Invasion. At the end of the day, they're going to get picked off potentially as well. Net giving Line Burrow Strike onto ADTR. Not the crucial target, but they're still probably going to bring him down with the magical damage that they have. ADTR is going to try to find some solace in the invisibility, but Net has a gem. There's no way that Treant Protector can escape from this unless they come in with a spike onto Net. Can take a lot of damage. Finger of Death as well. Ice Path onto 3 though. Once again, Ohio being the hero, and KYXY is now back in this fight. Going to kill off ADTR with the Radiance Burn. Now going to go for OK. Buyback from the Treant immediately in order to try to salvage the base, but OK is going to get hit with the Net, and Net is also going to jump forward. Now Keshikimba can try to look for something. He's going to get slept though. Firefly is out, and Song canceled. Into the Ice Path he goes. That's going to be Batrider down. There is a buyback on the line, but that's about it. At the end of the day, Team Malaysia, they lose only the range racks and a tier 4 tower, they held out for so long. Much of that going to Net's Burrow Strikes as well as Ohio's Ice Path. These two supports for Malaysia have been so on point, but now a Refresher Orb and a Dagon from the Necrophos. He's going all in to try to kill off KYXY one more time. The Ancient is completely exposed, but they have a 3 versus 4 game ahead of them. Ohio gonna start with the Liquid Fire onto this tier 3 tower. It's gonna be chipped down slowly but surely. Okay, gonna start to clear off those illusions, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. Lion not too durable. Ice Path's gonna clip onto 2, but they can't go in on this just yet, as the rest of the heroes are still in the mid lane, smoked up, trying to get into this fight as quickly as possible. Still, the illusions are going to be wailing on the tier 3 tower. Tier 3 tower down. Now the range racks is gonna be the target focus. Nature's Prophet now going to be available. Batrider though is not, because they don't have initiation. KYXY is gonna get hexed up. Doesn't have a link to survive this, but FC hit with the full on epicenter. He's gonna go down. He has no buyback. Necrophos didn't get a single spell off in that. Now the Song of the Siren is out onto Ghost as well as ADTR, just waiting for Net to have another Burrow Strike on cooldown. They're going to have that with the 2-man Ice Path. Ghost going to pop the BKB first. He's going to do a lot of damage to Ohio, but not kill off anyone just yet. X is going to be trying to run away, okay, trying to give chase, but he's not going to have enough to do that. Now going to hex up by KYXY. Blink forward from Ohio, going to land another Ice Path on OK. That's going to be 3 down for Invasion. The racks are completely exposed. Ghost completely surrounded in creeps. Net going to jump forward, land a Burrow Strike onto ADTR, trying to bring down that tree, but he's going to pay for it with his life, potentially. Turning around to land the Veil, not going to be doing jack, but the Raxes are down. And now Team Malaysia, they are going to try to go for the GG. It's in fact already down. That's it. Malaysia have done it. Oh my god, guys.
What a freaking game. To be honest, it really came down to the supporting cast. Even the Bane. I guess his Fiend scripts weren't all that good because they got cancelled most of the time by the Batrider, but Net as well as Ohio, those stuns, the Burrow Strikes, and now 100% the Burrow Strike epicenter, killing off FCFC before he got even one of his ultimates off. If the Necrophos had been there with the BKB in the fight, getting the double ultimate off the Dagons, I think they actually would have been able to just counter Rax and maybe GG, because 2 heroes down without buybacks from the Reaper Scythe would have been too much to handle. But man, what a freaking game it was.
So, MVP, who do you think? I'm inclined to give it to Ohio. That Jakiro play was amazing. So many heroes caught with those Ice Paths. That was insane.
Yeah, I would have to say Ohio and Net, because they definitely held on. Especially, I guess Ohio had a more solid performance throughout the entire game, and Net, just when they were defending, he got like 3 or 2 to 3 man Burrow Strikes in a row, just when they were trying to go for Rex. And oh wow, I'm just a lack for words. I really think though that Ghost, when they were going into the enemy base when Nagasiren died the second time from the Reaper Scythe, he went a little bit too far himself for the right clicks under the tier 4s even. If he hadn't gone that far, if he hadn't died or diebacked after the buyback, might have been a different story. But man, Team Malaysia, they bring home the victory. And well, we have one more series, guys, coming up. It's going to be Team Malaysia versus MSI Evolution Gaming Team in about 28 minutes time. So the last series of the day, to actually see if Team Malaysia will advance to the playoffs. They're definitely going to be the favorites in that series as well, but like we saw, Invasion, they definitely gave Team Malaysia a run for their money, even winning 1 game. So guys, if you enjoyed, be sure to follow us as well on this channel, as well as HeflaTV2 and HeflaMoke, as well as check out our social media, HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter. And guys, just, man, have a good one until the next game. And Mike Loris, any last words?
No, that's just about it. I can't wait for the next set. Team Malaysia performing some certainly interesting games, but Invasion, that was just so close. And oh man, I'm quickly becoming fans of both of these teams.
As am I, guys. So see you for Team Malaysia versus MSI Evolution Gaming Team in about 25 minutes time, guys. Just some songs in between, and oh man, this is gonna be it for now.
Later, guys. See you later.